Uncuckables.
Hello and welcome to another week of the Uncuckables. We are starting, 15 minutes late. We were all late tonight. I was late, Dave was late,
I'm never
and
late.
Matty was late
I was
via
right on time.
Skype.
A wizard is always exactly on time.
And also, Dusty Bogan on his Thirsty Thursday had quenched his thirst a bit too much and forgot to finish at 8:30.
No need for
as
excuses.
well.
Excuses are baloney.
Yeah, so it's all our fault. You know, we're just terrible.
The chat
Obviously-
is screaming at us.
Obviously, I'm Tim Wilms, editor-in-chief of The Unshackled, and I'm joined in the studio, as always, by David Hiscox, editor of the XYZ.
Hey, everybody, it's good to be here.
Yeah. And joining us via Skype is Matty Rosenberg of Matty's Modern Life.
Hey, that's not how you're supposed to introduce me.
Oh, well, that's how I felt like introducing you.
Australia's most, most famous, most correct Christian?
Australia's most correct and devout and outspoken Christian.
Yes.
I mean, Israel
according to our greatest fans.
Israel Folau's probably more outspoken, but he's not Australian, so I'll take the title, thanks.
True.
Well, we've got a lot to talk about tonight. It's not over where they do celebrate Thanksgiving in the United States, but it is Thursday evening here. But we have imported, our retailers have, tomorrow is Black Friday sales as part of this globalization era, because after Thanksgiving Thursday, that's when the US has what's equivalent to our Boxing Day sales, and they call that Black Friday. I'm not sure if you've ever seen that South Park episode about it, but as is with a lot of things in the United States, people have actually died in the stampedes in Black Friday. I don't think anyone's actually died.
That's one of the greatest South Park episodes ever, by the way.
Yes, it is pretty
three
good.
episodes.
Yes.
I spent 3 episodes pissing myself. It's so funny.
Well, they also, to help ensure safety, they now have what is termed Cyber Black Friday, or it can be Cyber Black Thursday, because after you finished your Thanksgiving turkey, because that's when they mainly... That's when they most remember that they're eating turkey. I think they still eat turkey at Christmas, US citizens of the United States. But obviously in Britain and Australia, we remember the turkey as Christmas lunch or dinner. It seems to be that whenever you eat turkey, there's huge retail sales the next day.
That's an interesting observation there, Tim.
Yes, it is.
Not exactly sure if it's profound or just useless trivia.
Oh, well, I'm just drawing a connection between turkeys and heaps of discounts. But anyway, there is... We are celebrating, our retailers are celebrating Black Friday tomorrow, so it's the best time to grab a bargain. And, it's obviously because Amazon and eBay, they're all global companies, so it's only fair that we all get to celebrate Black Friday, or as it can also be known, Rebecca Black Friday.
I have absolutely no interest whatsoever in Black Friday. It is vapid consumerism. I don't care. I think that people who die trying to buy stuff deserve it. So, in fact, I say stuff the safety procedures. Just let them go at it. No security, and just put cameras up there so that we can.
Why are we keeping stupid people alive, Matty?
Exactly. Exactly. If you're so dumb that you're going to die to get a cheap piece of plastic crap, then take yourself out of the gene pool. Seriously. You're doing us all a favour. It's ridiculous. Yeah. It is absolutely ridiculous. And I don't care about Black Friday. I don't care about consumerist crap.
Well,
we don't
if you can get essential goods and services for cheaper for one day, I think that's a good thing.
Essential services like what? An Xbox and other plastic China-made...
Excuse me, there'd be a lot of gamers which would enjoy this program.
Is gaming essential, is it? I didn't realise that gaming was essential.
Nick Fuentes is a big gamer. Are you being blasphemous against him?
Against who?
Nick Fuentes.
Nick Fuentes is a gamer, is he?
Yes.
Well, I mean, he's 21, so he is just a kid. I was
Is
still
he
a Game Boy
21?
21.
Yeah.
He's
only
a
21.
baby.
Yeah,
Wow.
of course. I've actually been warning people against sort of putting too much faith in this kid. And here's the thing, like, I think he's hilarious. I love watching his stuff because he's so funny.
Someone said Mark Collette is a gamer too. I'm not sure. I haven't checked that out.
Yeah, Mark Collette is also a gamer.
But he's
I'm not-
39.
I'm not ragging on the... Yeah, no, he's a little bit too old to be a gamer, if you ask me. But I'm not ragging on the gamers. I'm just saying it's not really an essential service. Now, is it? I mean, it's essential if you want to check out a life, I guess. But you can do without it. You're just trying to tell me that Black Friday is all about... You know, if you can get... Here's the thing. Maybe if I could get, like, a new pot to cook in... Or
Well, I think you could get
maybe,
a discounted pot, a non-stick,
I don't care
non-stick
that
fry
much, though.
pan.
I don't care that much to put my life at risk for $10 off a
Oh,
pot.
no, you don't do
It's-
that. You can still, if you turn up at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, there's still going to be sales. It's just that what's happened in the United States is that at the 7 a.m. rush, retailers have offered irresponsible discounts to the first 50 people.
It's not irresponsible. I don't think it's irresponsible at all. I think it's perfectly responsible. It's kind of like a honeypot, but for consumers.
Well, so you're saying that it's an intention of them to cause this chaos.
Remember, all these corporations, they're all, well, not all of them, but the vast majority of them are Satanists in some form or another. So I think what they might be doing here is just luring people in to their deaths via consumerism. Wouldn't that be an amazing sacrifice to Satan, though? Wouldn't it? It's like,
there were some
it's
people
just
getting
brilliant.
sucked in that Jeff Bezos, who runs Amazon, he gave, what is that, $100 million donation to charity, which he didn't. He gave $100 million to his charitable donation, which we all know a lot of these charities are just sort of tax dodgers and write down. So he didn't give $100 million to charity.
Yeah, well, good on him either way. Whatever.
You're very low energy tonight, Matty.
Yeah, I know. I haven't got much to say about either of these topics, to be honest.
Oh, well, what do you want to talk about? Or is that a dangerous question?
What do I want to talk about? Oh,
Yeah, I know.
I told you what I wanted to talk about on your show the other day when you were interviewing Blair, but you didn't read my super chat out. Oy vey! Oy vey! He shut me down.
Yeah. But speaking of super chats, I will remind our audience that we are on Entropy. They're the YouTube enhanced software, which, because this channel isn't monetized, and who knows, we could never be monetized, Entropy is a good workaround. I initially thought it was Matty's discovery, but it wasn't. It was Mark Collett's discovery after, even though he's nearly got 100,000 subscribers, he got demonetized from YouTube. And so he, I think, discovered Entropy, and then you discovered it, and then you passed it on to me, and then yeah, it's worked out well for us and our audience. So I've just put the link in the description, so come on over. What should be the poll question tonight?
Is Tim a crypto blue?
Crypto blue.
Yeah.
You know, blue is the color of masculinity.
And?
Yes. Yeah. So
What's your point?
well, this blue thing that's emerged during the week, I think it's silly.
You're on fire tonight, Tim. Just cutting it apart.
You got no response to that? Is that why?
Me?
Yeah.
Do I have no response to that ridiculous statement? Let's talk about something interesting.
What
I
about
just thought,
that?
you asked for a good poll question, so I thought that might be a good one. How about, is Tim a crypto blue? 1, yes. 2, no. And 3, oy vey, shut it down.
That, I don't think, well, you're the first person to, I think, allege that.
You could be. I don't know. I've been called a crypto blue before, but I'm not.
Isn't it like it's like the entry into the far right to be accused of being a Jew?
A
Who
what?
are you what? A what?
Yeah.
Wow. Cool it with the anti-Semitism, all right, mate? Jeez, come on.
Yeah.
Just calm it down. We don't want to annoy Julie Nathan or anything like that. I've learned my lesson. I've learned my lesson properly.
Yeah, you only got two
Oh, hang
pages,
on.
Matty. You only got
I
two
only
pages.
I only got 2 pages. Next year I'm
Yeah.
going to get 10.
It'll be condensed to 3, just like Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ryan beat me. Ryan beat me by a whole
Ryan
page.
always beats you.
Well, of course. I've only ever been nominated once.
Ryan's got 3 pages and 137 pages of appendix.
We should do like an
And that's
awards
just
night.
footnotes. That's just the footnotes.
We should do an awards night next year. Just say, all right, no one is allowed to actually look at it except like Dave, and then we all go somewhere and we'd have like a film like we have a film and we do it. You know, we have a whole like full on awards night and everything and. You know, because they've got their 7 categories or 8 categories or whatever they are, and you know, we whoever gets the most out of each category gets their award, and then we have, you know, the winner of the award because there was we were in the individual categories, so we got, you know, that's like getting nominated for best actor kind of thing. So that's like
we're
the
like
prestigious one.
the ultimate like one could get like a golden nose or something like that.
So what you're saying is that you want a Lifetime Achievement Award from the Anti-Defamation League, like they just gave Sacha Baron Cohen, but for basically providing them with a lifetime's worth of things to put on their website.
Yeah, and I was thinking that rather than the nose be the trophy, we have like a little one of these. You know? We all like they're all the same. There's like 7 of them, and
did you all catch?
I just think that would be one of the funniest things in history if we were to do an awards night like that. I don't know. I think it would be hilarious.
I'm glad that I wasn't mentioned on the list because I don't say any of that stuff. So
you should be glad. You should be ashamed of yourself for not being nominated for such a prestigious award. You're not doing enough for your country. But you're not a Christian though, are you? You're not a Christian.
I'm a nationalist, so I'm just concerned about Australia first. And there's certainly a wide variety of subverts in Australia, such as the Wahhabist Islamist, and obviously the communist Chinese. What are they called? Chinkom. That's what they're actually called for short.
I thought it was the Chicoms.
Oh yeah,
Chicoms, yeah.
Because
Tim, you should be Jesus first. You should put the Father and the Son and the Holy Ghost ahead of everything. Save yourself, Tim. Save yourself. Repent your sins so they are not thrown into the lake of fire at the end of time.
Have you heard that Dia, she offended the Catholics again this week on her Facebook? This is a constant...
The whore of Babylon, you mean? I shouldn't have said that.
So does that mean she's going to give birth to Damien?
Hey?
From what you just said?
No, Matty's referring to the Catholic churches there.
Yeah. Okay, so you side with Dia.
With Dia?
Yeah.
Well, there's no such thing as a universal church. It's not scriptural at all, and that's what Catholic means, universal. So the idea that there is a Catholic church, there was never any pope. You know, Pope means father, and there is only one father, so the whole church is built on a lie.
Is a traditionalist Catholic.
Doesn't mean Catholics are non-believers or anything. Doesn't mean all Catholics are non-believers.
The groupers, they're majority Catholic. A lot of the groupers, they've been holding the rosaries in their hands during what they've been asking Charlie Kirk these questions.
Yeah, look, I'm sure there are plenty of Christians in the Catholic Church. I'm just talking about the Catholic Church itself. So I'm sure there are plenty of safe people. There are plenty of unsafe people in non-Catholic churches as well, and you know, you can go to a church that is full on teaches the true word of God, and there'll be plenty of people who aren't saved in there because that's just the way things are.
All right. Now, I did mention Sacha Baron Cohen's speech to the Anti-Defamation League, his Lifetime Achievement Award. I mentioned it to Blair on my Sunday Wilms Front program, but I'm interested. Have you written about it on XYZ? Did I say something?
Sacha Baron Cohen?
Yeah, he's...
Ryan wrote something about it.
But it's interesting, this guy, he's basically made a lifetime out of basically being obscene and deceiving people to make money, because it's actually caused with his stunts people to lose their jobs. And so that's basically things to trick people. And of course, well, basically, Borat, he slandered a whole nation in Kazakhstan.
Yes.
But now he's receiving this award saying...
So basically, are you sort of pointing out that a blue man is engaging in typical bluish behaviour?
I'm saying he's a hypocrite.
I side with Dave on this one.
Yeah.
But he claimed
I don't know.
that,
I don't know what you mean by blue though. But you know, what do you mean by blue?
Didn't Borat
You explain that to me,
wear green?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Blue.
Well, he's never had any qualms about spreading degeneracy. There's that great there is that great scene in Borat where the cockroaches come in under the and they throw money at the cockroaches. It's actually very funny. Yeah.
And then he's got a song called "Throw the Blues Down the Well" as well. So, gee, come on, mate. I don't know, bro. I don't know what he's thinking. Maybe they've got something on him. They're a blackmail organisation, there's a really good chance they could. I'm not saying I know anything; it's pure speculation. But don't discount that possibility that they could have something on him and they could be forcing him to say things like this, because this is just the kind of satanic Lucifer worshippers that they are.
I wonder if there's a photo of him with Epstein, Matty.
Maybe there could be. Who knows? I mean, the ADL was formed to defend a literal pedophile. So these people are not moral. They're not a moral organisation, and the fact that they've been given so much power to censor everyone on the internet is just an abomination. I can't wait. I can't wait for the meteor to hit Silicon Valley. It's just like maybe a tidal wave, a couple of earthquakes wouldn't hurt. Just let God wipe that entire state off the map, maybe. Why not?
Well, I don't agree with that.
You don't agree with what?
Well, what you just said.
What? Why? What don't you agree with?
Wiping a state off the map, I think. Well,
hey, it's not me, man. It's not me. It's God. Like you can take it up with God. Jeez, dude.
Well, I wish.
I'm not saying I want to do it. I'm just saying that I think God would love to be able to do that. He'd love to do that right away, but he's got to have his, he's got to bide his time.
Yeah.
It'll happen eventually.
There's a reason California is on a fault line. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Well, let's get to his speech where he called Facebook the greatest propaganda machine of all time, and Goebbels would have loved it and would have allowed Adolf Hitler to advertise the final solution.
Yeah, it's part of the gaslight, isn't it? Because, we were talking about this. I've been locked out of my Facebook account again. Steele's been locked out of his. But Facebook have basically purged a whole heap of right-wing people, and they suppress right-wing news on Facebook all the time.
I haven't got that verification thing.
Yeah. As Matty said before, shame on you, Tim. You just got to try harder. So this is part of the gaslight, because now the line from the left is basically they're upset that they let any kind of right-wing thought on Facebook at all. Because there are so many of us, because we're basically the majority, you put stuff out, information does still actually get out on Facebook, and they just don't like it. They want Facebook all for themselves.
Yeah, of course, and I say let them have it. All right.
Yeah.
I say the same thing. It's getting to the point where it's just like, you know what? Destroy them.
Stuff them.
Destroy them. Stuff them.
That's what,
YouTube's probably going to purge everyone next month.
Oh, wait, their new terms of service.
Yeah, let Facebook purge everyone. Let YouTube purge everyone. It'll be annoying for a little bit, but there's alt tech. Just everyone come over to Gab, BitChute, Minds. I mean, BitChute needs an update.
Yeah.
But
there's DLive. I've suggested DLive because Nick Fuentes, content that YouTube won't allow, live content, he goes over to DLive.
Yeah, you can do DLive. There's Periscope. There's
Periscope is Twitter. Twitter.
Yeah, either way, whatever it is.
No,
that's
whatever.
My point is that there's plenty of options. That they're not going to be able to stop this message. The internet is such that it's a web. It's like a neural network, basically. It looks like a brain. You cut one node off and it just it goes around the other way. You can't stop the information. You can't stop the spread of the truth. You can't. E. Michael Jones would say that it's Logos rising, and that's basically it. It's people are waking up to reality, and they're waking up to the truth, and it's getting to the point where now every time they censor someone, it wakes more people up. It's like the Blob, you know. It's like the Blob from Doctor Who that you always talk about, Dave. Remember that one where like they fire rockets at it and it gets bigger, and the way that they win by ignoring it.
Oh no, you're mixing a few things. On The Simpsons they ignore the massive monsters which are advertising.
Yeah, the advertising. Yeah, I know that.
Coming
What
to
was
life. The Blob. It was from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, I think. There was a monster that was so powerful that the only thing that could kill it was itself. So like one of the characters snapped off a bit of its bone and stabbed the monster with its own bone and killed it. No, that's something else.
No, there was another. There was like a blob, and they were firing. You said it was like a Doctor Who one. I haven't seen it because I got it from you.
Oh yeah. It was just a blob where the more bullets they fired at it, the more powerful it got. Yeah.
Yeah, and how did they kill it?
It was a robot. I can't remember how they killed that one.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's basically my point is that's basically it's got to the point where they're sort of playing whack-a-mole with everyone, but every time they whack a mole,
that's what I talked about.
Not only does another mole come up, but 3 new holes come up. So it's like, oh no, we got one. Oh crap! There's like 3 new people who are now woken up. Oh crap! Oh no! They can't silence us all. Which is why I think soon they're going to just go out and go full balls to the wall on full-on oppressive violence and actually just try and conquer the world.
Well, they whacked Tommy Robinson, then Mark Collett emerged. They whacked Gavin and Milo, then Nick Fuentes emerged. I just want to go following Sacha Baron Cohen's speech. Now you're coming to your element, Matty. So this on the ADL, following Sacha Baron Cohen's speech, here is an ADL shortlist, i.e. wish list, of social media accounts that should have been removed a long time ago.
Is this actually on the ADL website?
Yeah, this is legit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
David
Duke, because he's still on Twitter. Yeah. Louis Farrakhan, he's a black leader of the Nation of Islam.
They put him in as token.
Yeah. Richard Spencer, Galid Atzmon, anti-Semitic musician who describes himself as an ex-Israeli and an ex-Jew.
You don't leave the plantation.
Yeah. Kevin McDonald.
Retired. You said Kevin McDonald on air.
Why is that a?
Yeah, you don't mention that name on YouTube.
Oh.
Yeah, you get flagged just for mentioning Kevin McDonald.
Oh, well, I'm reading it off the ADL website.
You've heard of Kevin McDonald, haven't you, Matty?
Yeah, he wrote that horrible anti-Semitic book that, it was just a horrible anti-Semitic book.
Well, he's on Twitter. So Jack Dorsey.
Excuse me, I'm still talking. I'm prostrating myself before the chosen ones right now. And Kevin McDonald wrote the most evil, horrible book that totally did not have a dozen pages of citations and all that kind of thing and quote. It didn't do any intelligent quoting or wasn't a proper.
Oh, sorry.
Academic book or anything like that. So don't. Oy vey, shut Kevin McDonald down. God bless.
Never
them.
Never ever read Culture of Critique. Yeah.
Never read Culture.
Do not Google Culture of Critique.
Yep.
Yeah. Don't YouTube Culture of Critique. No.
Yep.
Never
right,
go
David.
Yeah.
Well said, David. Yeah. Well said. We do not want to spread anti-Semitism on this stream.
So that was Twitter accounts. So the next one, Dave, am I allowed to say the rest of these names on YouTube?
Yep, you're fine. You're fine.
Okay, Alison Chabloz.
Isn't that a blue? I think it might be.
Well, they did kill Jesus.
Oi, man!
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Kevin Barrett, a 9/11 truther and anti-Semitic conspiracy theorist. Texe Marez. There's that.
I think Tex Mar. No, it's Israel Shamir. There we go. Israel Shamir, Jewish convert to Christianity. I'm pretty sure Israel Shamir just died. I think I heard one of them actually just died. I'm pretty sure it was one of them died.
Let me guess, it was a suicide. He was found with 2 bullets to the back of the head and ruled a suicide, yeah?
Gordon Duff.
Duff man.
I noticed that in the first sentence, they always say they're anti-Semitic.
Like, in case people forgot what they were reading.
YouTube, True News. Have you heard of that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, True News did a video on the Jew data.
And Sanderson 1611. Oh, that's Stephen Anderson.
They don't
Anderson.
even call him Pastor Stephen Anderson. That's so disrespectful.
It is.
These people are that's in all seriousness, that's scummy. He is a pastor actually, and he's an excellent pastor. If you ask me, he's fantastic. Some people don't like him because he's, they just don't like him. But I've watched a lot of his sermons now, and I think he's fantastic. I think he's great.
E. Michael Jones.
You should hear Steve Anderson talk about the homos. It's fantastic.
Well, he's been banned from Australia and New Zealand. Well, not just for that, but also for his views on the Jews as well.
Oh, yeah, obviously for them, but also he did a very naughty thing. He did a very, very naughty thing. He questioned he questioned the 300,000, and you should never, ever, ever question the 300,000. It is absolutely unacceptable to even think about the 300,000.
I don't know what you're talking about there. E. Michael Jones, he's also listed there, long-time anti-Semite and traditionalist Catholic writer.
If you read the ECAD report, they don't literally say it, but they essentially say that the Bible is anti-Semitic. Like, every Christian is anti-Semitic. Like, come on, idiots.
Brother Nathaniel, which is...
I've got a real soft spot for Brother Nathaniel. His delivery is just second
converted to Russian Orthodox.
Yeah, he's a lot of fun.
Is he still on YouTube? I thought he got showered.
Yeah, I haven't watched him for a few years, but he's just a lot of fun, that guy.
Yeah.
Red Elephant's made it. Red Elephant's made it as well. Huh? Yeah.
Yep. And guess who's not up there? Guess who's not up there?
Who?
Nick Fuentes.
Well, because he's new.
No, he was up there. He was on the last one. He was on their last list. He's not on this list anymore.
So they don't
this is not an official list. This is a press release. This is a press release.
And guess who else isn't on there? No more news. Adam Green's not on there either. I don't think he's made it yet. Adam Green does fantastic work on Zionism, and he's extremely effective, and they haven't even mentioned him.
Well, the reason why I went through that list there, not because I agree with those people, but because I'm a free speech absolutist, and just because somebody says something that you disagree with doesn't mean they should be deleted from the internet.
Also, I think it's quite a threatening thing to do, to make lists of your enemies. What should actually be pointed out about what the ADL has done here is that it's actually inciting violence, because there are a lot of people who think that, like, if people talk about this, they're basically going to cause a Holocaust, and so people are going to go after these people and actually try to hurt them. Like, the ADL should be sued by these people who are on it.
Of course,
they should be investigated for it as well. They're
basically
the ADL are basically a terrorist organization. I'm done. Yeah, they're basically a terrorist organization who are inciting violence against these people.
Same with ECAJ. I just think it's funny, and I just laugh at them because they're so pathetic. But still, they are inciting violence against people. They're making lists, and they're saying,
I've got a little list,
and they're saying they're inciting violence against all Christians. They're just a bunch of scummy little sooks, if you ask me. All of them. Think about it. Buddy, what's her face? That person who, in my honestly held opinion, is a fat pig and a slut. Sarah Hansen Mung.
You'll be next.
She is a slut. By the way, it is my honestly held opinion that is the kind of person that she is. A complete horrendous wicked individual. She gets $120,000 awarded to her because someone basically responded to her and her feelings were hurt as a woman. But then the Executive Council of Australian sooks can come out and make full-on lists of all these people who have said things that hurt their feelings or that they don't like, and it's totally fine. It's like, and incite violence against them, and it's totally acceptable. And I think that it's just vile, really. It's vile. Well, I say it's vile, but also at the same time, it is what it is. This circus is not going to last for much longer. Honestly, something's going to give. People are waking up, and there will be justice. Yeah. There's going to be justice eventually, and these people are going to be brought to justice. They might think that they're all powerful now, but these things can change like that. Very, very quickly things can change, and when they do change, they better run because they're in a lot of trouble. Honestly.
Well, some people didn't like that you said on XYZ Live that you should slut shame, you women. Did you say women?
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm for gender equality. So, like, if you're going to go down that road, you should also slut shame men because men can get up to quite slutty, and also. Women are told to be modest, but also men should be told to be modest.
I agree, actually. I mean, I agree, but traditionally, women are the ones who get slut-shamed because it's more important to keep them in line so that they don't go and get themselves knocked up and all this kind of thing. But you're right.
If you slut-shame the women, you don't need to slut-shame the men.
Well, that's exactly right, and yeah, you totally got it spot on there. But you're right. We should be modest, and monogamy is extremely important, and neither men nor women should sleep around, and men should have self-control, and so should women. And if people got upset that I'm saying that women should be slut-shamed, well, tough titties. I don't care. It's like, oh no. You don't like it when I'm telling you a harsh truth? No, this is... If you spare the rod, you do not love your children. And if you don't tell people harsh truths, then guess what? They're going to go out and they're going to do stupid things in their life, and they're going to ruin their lives, and they're going to lose their souls as well. So it's really important that we hold people's behaviour to account. But yeah, I totally agree that men should be shamed for promiscuous behaviour as well. But like Dave said, if you shame women for it, then you don't need to shame men for it because.
But there's also you're also like there is slutty men who are just not with slutty women. You know that.
Yeah, adultery is a horrible sin. Nobody should commit adultery, and nobody should commit fornication either. You shouldn't. You really should wait until you're married and pick the right girl and all that kind of thing. I mean, honestly, these rules were put in place for a reason. We've broken these rules and look what's happened. Let's just go back to what we know works. It's kind of simple.
I've just put the entropy link in. Again, everyone's slow in migrating over, but please join us, ask us a question, or send through a super chat. I haven't thought of a poll question.
I gave you a poll question.
Yeah, but that's...
You had no fun, Tim, honestly. You just
do you do these polls on XYZ Live?
You should see our polls on XYZ Live.
You could do one. What's the greater threat to humanity, the ADL or ECAG?
What's that?
Who's the greater threat to humanity?
Well, we've got an answer. We have an answer for that in 1 Thessalonians 2. It's very obvious. I think it's verse 14 to 16 makes it pretty clear.
So, ADL, what was the other one? What was the other one?
ECAG.
What's that?
The Executive Council of Australian Bluery.
Okay, well, this might encourage people to come on over then and vote in the poll.
Isn't that kind of redundant though? Like, it's a bit of a who's the bigger threat? I mean, come on, look. You need it both. You need it both. It's equal. You need it equal.
But you do notice that when you say something like that about slut shaming, people call you an incel, or what I've termed incel shaming, that to try it because they don't like people like us putting forward the arguments and facts that we do. So they just say, "Oh, you're an incel." That's their comeback, and that's supposed to shut us down, even though they have no idea about our sex lives. They shouldn't, because it's private. But the implication because it's designed to say like, oh, you can't get laid. That's a bad thing in our society. But the reason they say that incel shaming is important is because it leads to mass shootings. And so when they call you an incel, they're implying that you're a dangerous potential killer. And so if you're allowed to sue for slut shaming, could you be allowed to sue for incel shaming?
I'm just wondering where's the line.
Well, of course, if the law was actually consistent and everyone was equal before the law, but what this payment to this fat slag, otherwise known as Sarah Hanson Mung, tells us is that law is not equal, that women most definitely are favoured by the law, and that's just the way it is. It's why we need a completely new system, because this one is obviously completely and utterly broken. This decision, what a disgusting decision. But anyway, in terms of incel shaming, no, I don't think you should be incel shaming people. Like, look, these poor guys, they're coming into this society that tells them that they're horrible for being men. It tells them that they should be more effeminate. It doesn't teach them how to be real men. It doesn't teach them how to attract a woman. It shames them for being a man, just like I said. It shames them for, it tells them that if they go out and try and pick up a girl and they're somehow bad. There was a guy...
That guy who was arrested, yeah.
He got arrested for just touching a girl because he was shy, and he got like a prison sentence or something. He got a criminal conviction for trying to talk to this woman. It was horrible. And then now they're coming around and you're shaming people for being incels. I mean, that's just vile.
Well, I think that the whole incel phenomena, because it emerged on, what was it, 4chan or something, like in their anonymous messaging board that they labeled themselves incels. Yeah, for all that we know, they could have just been FBI agents who will investigate these mass shootings. Because can you really be an incel in today's society? Like when there's all of these, well, they're called dating apps, but they're basically hookup apps or sex apps. I mean, if you pay for sex today, hypothetically, then you're a sucker.
Well, it doesn't quite work like that because of hypergamy, and women. Well, if women's hypergamy is not kept in check, then 80% of the women will go for 20% of the guys, and those 20% of the guys will get all the women, which is what I was going to say when I interrupted you. So it was so rude of you to let me interrupt you, Tim. I can't believe you would do that.
Oh, I might just let you go. If I didn't, you might just go on a tangent forever.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, so this is why we have strictly enforced monogamy, and this is why...
Strictly enforced? What is...
Strictly socially enforced, religiously enforced monogamy as well, because that way you get rid of all this nonsense with incels and women's female hypergamy, and you don't end up getting women in their 50s with no kids and getting out there on dating apps saying, I'm ready for kids now, I'm 50 years old. It doesn't I mean, there might be a couple of old maids that don't quite make the cut, but still, there'll be, it gets rid of most of this problem of incels. So if people were really worried about incels going out and shooting up the place, then they would say, wait a minute, we have to restrain female sexuality and hypergamy in order to prevent it. But you can't do that. You can't do that because Mwamans and equality and blah blah this and blah blah that, and that wouldn't be fair, and women are allowed to be slags apparently, which is just nuts. But that's the way society is. Like I said, bring on the meteor. Bring on the 50-pound hailstone. I'm looking forward to it.
It's the irony that all these communists who are in favour of sexual liberation have launched this meteor called hypergamy, because what we used to have was a regulated sexual environment where there was actual sexual... Hide the sausage. But now what we've actually got, we've got an unregulated sexual environment, and lo and behold, it's unequal. And we have a lot of haves and we have a lot of have-nots. I thought communists were against this sort of thing.
But also, what's included in this...
about destroying our society.
What's included in this incel label, because it stands for involuntary celibate, they claim that those who are voluntarily celibate, they still say that they're incels, which of course that means like saving yourself for marriage, which still goes on today.
Yeah, they call Nick Fuentes an incel, but he's like, no, I'm just waiting for the right
Well,
girl.
he's 20. Well, he's 21. He's still at his parents' house. That's where he's broadcast from.
Good on him.
Yeah, he's Italian. Mama cooks some nice dinners for him.
Yeah, and let's go back to the days where the girls, were raised right in the home by a mother who taught them how to be a mother, like a wife and a mother. And then when they came of age, a man said, I would like your daughter in marriage, your daughter's hand in marriage, married her and took her into his home. And then she acted as a wife to him as her husband, who was the leader of the household, while she ran the household as the wife. I don't see why this is such a bad thing. But then you look at it from the perspective of someone who worships the devil and hates humanity, and it makes a whole lot of sense that they would want to destroy that, and that they would think that that was somehow evil or a bad thing, or what's the usual comeback? Oh, you're just living in the 50s. It's like, I wish, seriously, that would have been fantastic. Would have been much better if we still had traditional values that were still alive up until the 50s. It'd be great. My life would have been better. My life would have been better if I just listened to the word of God from the time I was a teenager instead of just going away from it. I would have had a much better life. But you know what? It wouldn't have been as interesting, I guess. But still, you know, understand what I'm talking about. It would have been a lot less dramatic, and I would have had a lot less issues. But still, I've been lucky in that I've still been able to survive. A lot of people just can't survive. They end up destroying themselves. They turn to drugs. Women end up childless and alone. Men end up suiciding. It's horrible. We need to really seriously consider returning back to what we should not even consider it. Let's just do it. Let's just go back to how life was before and reinstate true Christianity in our society, or at least start our own Christian society that actually follows the word of God, because the laws in there are pretty good for us if you actually look at them and you actually consider them. And if we implemented them, we would not have the problems that we have today in society. We wouldn't have this mass immigration. We wouldn't have feminism. We wouldn't have all this ridiculous nonsense that's destroying everything.
We've got a few questions on entropy. The first one is from, what is it, Sam Sornoff. Should people doing, what is it, penium? What's that? Penium sunning in Australia use sunscreen. So that's some sort of solarium. That's an odd question.
Well, if there's questions there, we can answer the questions. Then I got a boot.
Yeah, and then we've got Nick76. Did you know Naughty Goy rhymes with Farmers Convoy? Yes, because there's the Farmers Convoy that's coming into Canberra next week, because Scott Morrison and Michael McCormack and David Littleproud, Bridget McKenzie, they've thrown a whole bunch of money for drought assistance. A lot of it is loans, which loans mean it eventually has to be paid back. But they're still not talking about dismantling the Murray-Darling Basin Authority, which basically flushes a lot of the water that could go to the farms out to sea. And it's basically a communist rationing water system, the Murray-Darling Basin plan.
They ration the water by giving it to the ocean. This is
because
what Satanism does.
The environment needs the water flow. It's like we've got to look after the.
This is what satanic Lucifer worship does. It's anti-human at its absolute core. So they will justify anything that they can do to destroy human beings and destroy our livelihoods and kill us in any way that they can. And if that means flushing water into the ocean where that doesn't actually need more water for obvious reasons, then that's what they will do. And actually, you mentioned something that Naughty Goy, he mentioned Naughty Goy rhymes. The award ceremony, I remember what it was going to be. It was going to be the Naughty Goy Awards.
Well, maybe because the Unshackled has its...
the winner gets his foreskin back.
The Unshackled has always had its Unshackler Awards every year. I mean, if XYZ, if you want to do the awards down those lines, we've trademarked all of our awards. So, but you can...
What? You trademarked all your awards?
Yes.
That's awesome, too.
Culture Warrior of the Year, Unshackler of the Year. regressive leftist of the year, and degenerate of the year. Oh, there's cuck of the year as well, cis white male of the year, triggered feminist of the year. What else we got? Fake news of the year, international media personality of the year, and of course, Australian patriot of the year.
Cool. How about naughty goy of the year? Can I have about that?
Well, XYZ can choose that if it was.
That seems to be our territory, huh?
Yeah, that's right. Any more questions?
Any more questions? Not at the moment. I'll put in the entropy link again.
All right. Well, that was fun. That was fun today. I got to.
Done, Matty?
Yeah. I'm gonna go and relax. I won't tell what. I'm not gonna say what I'm doing. Anyway, it's nothing that.
That sounds.
I'm going to watch. I'm going to watch religious sermons. Not even joking.
Okay.
I know.
Well, that's
you said that before, man.
Oh, did I? Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah. I don't know. I'm getting
into it. That's great. Good work, mate.
It is, isn't it? But on a Thursday night though, it's like I'm just watching them constantly these days. I just love them. If they're good.
All right. Bye.
Yeah.
Cheerio, Matty.
All right, that was Matty there, and I've just put the link into Entropy so you can ask further questions and also send through super chats.
Does this mean I have to talk now, Tim?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Well, Matty doesn't let any of us talk because he's got his rants where he talks about we just need to go back to enforce.
That's not a rant, that's the truth.
Yes, but he needs to put it in, like, say, a proper manifesto because it's all disjointed.
Yeah. How's the polls looking? Good.
ADL's winning.
Yeah.
Will Tim ever allow playback on other websites so we can watch the stream from the Entropy page? I do know that there's probably a YouTube setting which I can change, which will fix this. If anyone can advise me on it, please email me or send me a Telegram message, or there's endless ways to reach me. So that would be much appreciated.
Okay, so what's next on the list there?
Yes, so the Unshackled was affiliated for some time last year with a UK website, Politicalite.
Okay.
Now I'll just the site is still. I'll just go to screen share here. Yeah, so this is it here. So this is, what's that? Because it was down a few days ago. Oh, this is from October 2019. So they haven't published anything since about the 24th of October. Their Twitter account is inactive. Their Telegram channel hasn't been updated.
Maybe they got to them.
Yes. Well, if I go to Twitter here, there was a group, Stop Funding Fake News. They said an Islamophobic fake news site has shut down after our consistent campaigning to get brands to pull their adverts. It's Politicalite. Fighting fake news works. Support us today at GoFundMe. Let's check out their GoFundMe. They've got.
Gee, that's an interesting looking red flag they've got.
Yeah. £1,400. They want £10,000. They've only got, was it 37 donors though. So there's been a lot of big donors.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll tell the story about Politicalite. So obviously it's UK focused, but their main crime against all this, because there was heaps of there's so many anti-hate groups in the UK. So that was just one of them I talked about. Yes, Stop Funding Fake News. There was another one, Get the Trolls Out. The Media Diversity Institute. Stop Funding Hate, Hope Not Hate. And of course, they've got Sleeping Giants there now. And all of these groups, they're now going after a left-wing website called Dorset Eye because they criticised the chief rabbi of the United Kingdom, his statement against Jeremy Corbyn, because they're actually they support Jeremy Corbyn, and so they called the anti-Semitism accusations against Jeremy Corbyn fake, that they weren't of substance, and so now they want advertisers to withdraw.
These people are crazy.
Yes. People can see your purple jacket there.
That's lovely.
But yes, have you? This has been. He was with Jeremy Corbyn, Andrew Near, where he refused to apologise for anti-Semitism in this party. But I always hear that Jeremy Corbyn's anti-Semitic. He's spreading anti-Semitism in the party. But all it comes down to, these accusations, is that he doesn't support Israel.
Yes. Yeah. I know Greg Sheridan had a go at him today as well. Something about. Yeah, I don't know what it's about.
Yeah, but it seems that it's such a great leap. That because he's just anti-Zionist.
Yes, but we understand that blue organisations basically describe anti-Zionism as anti-Semitism. It's just
which is ridiculous. Yeah. I know that Nick Fuentes, he went through an article that was, I can't remember what newspaper it was from, but it was saying America First policy is anti-Semitic. Which is an incredible leap to make.
And again, Israel is the Jewish state, so if you're against Israel, you're against you're against the Jewish state. So there is a connection there. It's not completely without justification.
We've got a super chat here for $5 Canadian. This is from Peter Grace Info Pissy Leaks. Would you guys like to eat with me at the Joinery Cafe one day? Let me take you guys out to lunch. The peanut soup is my favorite.
What's the address of this Joinery Cafe?
I don't know.
Let's find it.
Yeah, well, thank you for that, Peter Grace info. There's such there's still multiple accounts claiming to be Peter Grace.
Yeah, I love it. I wonder which one is the real one then.
Though I think James said that basically he's become like Agent Smith in the Matrix, because you know how Neo in the end of the first Matrix shatters Agent Smith, and then in the Matrix Reloaded, the Matrix is full of Agent Smiths.
Yes.
So maybe. Yeah, maybe the Grace program is out of control in the Matrix.
I can just see Australia is just going to be full of piss.
But going back to, I digress, this Politicalite website. So yes, this site's grave crime was being pro Tommy Robinson, because remember, he is supposed to be the most hateful person in the United Kingdom, because he's an Islamophobe. But if you
there we go.
You followed Tommy Robinson,
the Joinery Cafe. I don't know why people are mentioning the Joinery Cafe, but it's 5 Holmond Road in Elwood. It must be a nice place to eat. Apparently, yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So going back to Politicalite, yeah. So they dared to be pro Tommy Robinson, which back to when he first emerged as the leader of the English Defence League, he didn't care about immigration to the UK or any other social issue. It was just against Islamism. And because the English Defence League, they had a Jewish division, an LGBT division, and a Sikh division. And the founder of this website, his name was Jordan James, and he was a gay Jamaican.
Okay.
And I was Facebook friends with him.
So he was the editor of
Politicalite, yes.
Yeah, okay.
I was Facebook friends with him before he got banned, and he posted his some of his Grindr encounters and some of the saucy exchanges that he got. So yes,
so why is conservatism all about being ethnic and gay? That's just
that was on his private Facebook page, Facebook profile, which I was privy to. But yes. The fact that he was pro Tommy Robinson, he was kicked off Google Ads, Politicalite. Their PayPal got frozen, which means they never got access to the PayPal donations they'd accumulated. They got kicked off Facebook. They were still allowed on Twitter, and they opened up a Telegram channel. a lot of the media attacks on them came from Mark DiStefano, who was the media editor of BuzzFeed UK. Actually used to work in the Australian BuzzFeed operations, and he's I would describe him as our worst journalistic export. He's now BuzzFeed's UK political editor. So I'm glad. Oh, stay over there, Mark. Don't come back. But yes, so basically all of these lobby groups that I mentioned, it's basically how Sleeping Giants Oz works, writing to all these advertisers and putting pressure on them. They cuck because they're all woke corporations. And
do you think like it's basically the same people just starting up a whole bunch of different organizations? Like these people would all know each other. A lot of these people they'd just be sock puppets, yeah?
Yeah, but I'm surprised at how many groups there are.
Well, like you can start multiple Facebook pages.
Yeah, but these all have websites as well.
Okay.
So it's a much more sophisticated operation in the UK, these anti-hate groups.
Did you say you were looking up the names of these people and like the ethnic identities of them as well?
There was one, what is it? If I go to it, just talk over me, I'll try to find it.
Oh, yeah. I'm waiting for Hope Not Hate to go after... Oh, no, not Hope Not Hate. Sleeping Giants to go after us.
Well, they went after us once because they found a
them,
Brisbane International Comedy Festival advert on our website, and they wrote to the Brisbane International Comedy Festival.
So that you can't have any legitimate businesses advertising on our sites, yeah.
Something's wrong with the search thing here on Twitter. I'll get to it, but you keep talking.
Yeah, so when did Steele get taken off Facebook?
I heard from him yesterday.
Yeah.
Something's happened now. We're still live? Oh yeah, we are still live, so it's just Twitter which is playing up. What are you doing, Jack Dorsey? I'll just put the entropy link again, never mind. I think we've said enough on this. Oh yes, next topic. We've talked. I think we talked briefly last week. I've talked about it extensively on my show. That Westpac, they were found by the transactions regulator, it was called Austrac, that they'd facilitated 23 million illegal transactions, including a lot of it was financing the worst type of pedophilia in the Philippines. And so the Westpac CEO, Brian Hartzner, he resigned on Tuesday, even though he said the previous week that he wasn't going to resign.
Yeah, basically Westpac will be okay because the other big banks are all just as bad.
Well, Brian Hartzner said that, I think the media is blowing this pedophilia stuff out of proportion because the ordinary Australian, they don't care about that stuff, or words to that effect, or it's not a main street issue.
It was only 17 instances out of 23 million, or something like that. Yeah, but yeah, it's not just that. It's just 23 million.
We've got another super chat, $50 from Radical Islamophobe, US dollars. Cockroaches may survive nuclear fallout, but they don't survive mortine gas bombs. There's hope. Was that well, that's what. Well, mortine, like who was it in that ad? So was it Marty the Fly?
It was Louis the Fly.
Louis the Fly.
Yeah. Louis Farrakhan the Fly.
Thank you very much for that super chat. There's still time.
Thank you very much, Radical Islamophobe. We appreciate it every week. Much appreciated.
But yes, remember how all of we played the ads last week of Westpac, how they they had the ethnic LGBT ad, and then the Beirut businesses, they were using Westpac. And this reminds me, there's a really good cartoon that I want to show from Johannes Leek, who is Bill Leek's son, who has taken up his father's love of cartooning. Because
this is Johannes Leek.
Yeah, I'll bring it up on the screen here.
It looks just like one of Bill Leek's cartoons.
Yes, so that's what I meant, like father, like son.
Wow. So maybe like he's gonna go after the people who ruined his father.
Oh, he
That'd be
killed
epic.
his father.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, because it was what was it? He denies he encouraged complaints to the Human Rights Commission, Tim Supomasani, when he was race discrimination commissioner about Bill Leakes.
The blood's on his hands. The blood is on little Timmy Shitpossum's hands. Yeah.
I'm not sure where he is now. Thank God he's gone. Yes, here it is. Here, this is so funny. Social Responsibility Department. How could this happen on our watch? Westpac in disgrace. And you have Monday Wear Purple Day, Tuesday Reconciliation, Climate Change Fund Run, Gender Equality Training, Trans Awareness Workshop. And then you have
There's a GIMP.
Yeah, the GIMP, the Aboriginal flag shirt. What is it? The like trans cowboy. That looks like Julie Gillard there.
Yep. Yeah.
And who's that guy?
Just some random hippie.
And then who's that other guy
He's
there?
just the token white guy going, "How do I keep my job?" Yeah. That's great. Good on him. That's amazing. He'll be drawing with anger.
Oh yeah, basically his father was at an early grave.
Yeah.
We've got another super chat from Peter Grace, info PC Leaks, $3 Canadian US. Do you want to read this out, Dave? Or can you read it from here?
Yeah, sure. Can you stop drinking water because some of your viewers have a weak bladder and adult diapers are not cheap? If you keep up the weather forecast for my lounge room, will be severe monsoon.
Maybe they should be put on the PBS. Get it? PBS?
Yeah, we get it.
So thank you for that.
Thank you very much.
Piss Pants info. And if you want to send through a super chat, please. I put the link in the description. You can join us there. People keep telling us you can't actually watch the stream in Entropy, but if you have both windows open, then you can watch us and then interact on Entropy.
Just the thing about the Westpac, it's amazing how we can just have scandal after scandal after scandal, but the big deal is never actually mentioned. Like, why do we have a central bank? Why do we have fiat currency? We just keep having these little scandals around the edges.
Yeah, but the most hilarious...
Until we get to the heart of the matter, it's, we're not going to deal with it.
But the most hilarious thing, well, it's no laughing matter what Westpac has done, but basically the social justice warriors who 10 years ago were like, man, the evil corporations. It's like, yay, they support reconciliation and same-sex marriage. Aren't they great?
They took them over, yeah.
Yeah, and we got them to withdraw from Alan Jones's program because they're celebrating because Alan Jones's show revenue is down, even though his ratings have stayed the same. So people are still listening to Alan Jones, but they've managed to cuck a lot of these corporations.
Yeah, at the end of the day, these big multinational corporations are just big multinational corporations. Really, what we're seeing is corporate capitalism and socialism are two sides of the same coin.
There was also it was a known sex scandal for quite a while in the YouTube community. I'm not sure if anyone has ever heard of Onision. He was this popular pop culture YouTuber for over a decade. He was a raging lefty. His real name is Gregory Jackson. Yes, so he was banned from Patreon because he posted screenshots of private text messages between himself and another YouTuber, Billy Dawn Webb, who has accused him of misconduct. Because he hasn't been stories of allegedly abusive relationships with Onision and his partner YouTuber Cool Guy K, who is a biological woman but now uses male pronouns. Multiple women and former fans claim that Onision and K, formerly known as Lanybot befriended them online and groomed them for inappropriate encounters. A few accusers, including Webb, a former fan who is now has their own channel, claimed they were harassed online after their relationship with Onision Kai went south and Onision posted their private information on his YouTube channel.
So are you saying that like this guy is another left-wing soy boy who at the end of the day turns out just to be another sexual predator?
One
is that what they're saying basically?
Let me
Yes?
finish.
Yes.
One accuser who asked to be referred to as Sarah alleges she was manipulated into a relationship with the couple after she moved in with them at the age of 16. Another fan named Regina claims Clyde sent them nude photos when they were 17 years old. That's Kai there. So Kai transitioned using male pronouns.
Okay. So are you saying that this is just another soy boy, SJW, who at the end of the day turns out to be just another sexual predator?
Well, there was another YouTuber who was convicted of receiving child pornography, soliciting it from his young female fans, Austin Jones. And obviously, history hasn't changed that teenage girls, they gush over pretty guys and will do anything for them. And of course, in the internet age, the YouTube age, these young girls can easily be manipulated to handing over explicit photos to these predatory male YouTubers. And I think credit has to go to Blair White, another YouTuber. She's done a series of videos on Onision's predatory behavior. He sent a series of cease and desist letters, but she wasn't intimidated. And of course, she's probably the one who went hardest on Jessica Yanif, exposing their predatory behavior with young girls, asking them about their tampon habits. So Blair White, she actually got featured on Chris Hansen. Do you remember who he is?
So what I'm saying is like this fits a pattern. Like we get SJW soy boy after SJW soy boy, who at the end of the day, that is, like him being an SJW soy boy just turns out to be his mating strategy. We've seen like with quite a number of the people who've been accused in Hollywood through the Me Too, all the Me Too rubbish. Again, they're just virtue signaling lefties who, at the end of the day, are just sexual perverts and sexual predators. And so this guy just fits the pattern yet again.
Yes. Yeah. So Blair White, she actually got featured on Chris Hansen, who used to host the To Catch a Predator segment on was an NBC Dateline. He now has his own YouTube channel, Hansen versus Predator. I don't think he's on TV anymore. He's quite old now, so he just does these streams now. I wonder if Chris Hansen is wanting to hand over his To Catch a Predator franchise to Blair White, because that's what she's basically become known now, is basically the YouTube predator catcher.
Okay.
And Hunter Avalon, he was another YouTuber who went after Onision. Obviously, not a lot of people have been impressed with him lately, but I did enjoy basically his Onision downfall party stream, which was quite entertaining to watch. He, when I interviewed Hunter Avalon, this was a couple of years back, he and Onision had the same birthday. They're born 10 years apart, so that makes Onision 33 now. So yes, hopefully this is the end of him, and YouTube takes some action since Patreon has.
So let's see that photo of Bloomberg.
Oh yes, Michael Bloomberg announced that he was running for president, and he released a campaign ad.
The ABC have been wetting their pants over him. I love the way they frame it. They said
they call him a real billionaire.
Yeah.
Let's have.
They say, "Oh, President Trump has attacked him," and then you look at what Bloomberg has actually said.
Yeah, here we go. I heard Michael Bloomberg might enter the presidential race. Here he is, pictured with Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein's girlfriend, handler, child procurer. Be a shame if it went this far. Yes, it would be a shame. Yeah. And
shortest presidential.
Yeah, Trump calls him Little
ever.
Michael, and that is definitely true.
I was going to say shortest presidential run.
Yeah,
ever,
both of those women, I don't know who the other one is, are taller than him.
Yeah.
And of course, that's just not like a random photo. They're posing for it.
Yeah, he is known for his shortness. Yeah.
But I thought it was interesting after he announced his campaign announcement. announced his candidacy. That
Bumberg.
Pardon?
Peter V. Just called him Bumberg. Great.
Yes, Ghislaine Maxwell, because she's been missing since Jeffrey Epstein was arrested. Of course, she should be the world's most wanted woman. We suspected she's either in hiding or dead, but apparently she's still alive. And the Sun newspaper in the UK reported that she was going to come out of hiding and reveal all. And I couldn't help but the connection with Michael Bloomberg announcing his candidacy and then Ghislaine Maxwell coming out of hiding, or saying she was going to come out of hiding. It hasn't happened yet.
Are you saying like she's going to be like, hey, I've got information, I'm going to just get you all now or something?
Well, Michael Bloomberg is... Well, the Clintons aren't running for president anymore, but
Not
Michael
yet.
Bloomberg is.
Hillary Clinton will be the candidate.
Just move in.
Yeah. Hillary Clinton will be the candidate. She's just waiting for everybody else to fall over the line. And she'll do a Steve Bradbury, at least for the Democrat race. And then she'll lose to Donald Trump again, and then there will be civil war.
But yes, Michael Bloomberg...
Do you have a mic? I want to drop it.
he was mayor of New York for 3 terms, so from 2002 to the beginning of 2014. And he was basically a nanny statist.
Yes.
He was the founder of Mayors Against Gun Violence.
It's amazing they had Judy Giuliani before him, and he cleaned the place up. And, you know, he's the guy he's got the dirt on the Democrats regarding the Ukraine and everything like that. And now they're trying to put him away. Giuliani is like an American hero. And now the Democrats are, you know, they'll go after him and they want to put him in prison. They really don't care who they go after.
Well, Giuliani is 77.
Yeah.
He's had super successful both legal and political career because the mob wanted to kill him in the 80s.
Yeah, and now the Democrats want to kill him. Yeah.
Yeah, Bloomberg, he was also known for his wanting us to all eat healthy with his trans fat bans and also on super large sodas.
Yeah.
Which got overturned by a judge.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's amazing how, like, for a party which is supposed to appeal to the youth, like it's like the Democrats basically sell themselves on being cool, don't they? Like, you know, like they're not those stuffy old Republicans.
Well, that's what Turning Point USA. That's their pitch. That the Republicans are the cool ones.
Yeah,
now.
well, it's basically a proof because all the Democrats have been able to put up is a whole bunch of old people. It's been incredible. Tulsi Gabbard's come along and it's like actually young and actually has some half decent ideas, but they got rid of her and they replaced her with a geriatrics. It's hilarious.
Now I've
this
got
Osman Faruqi.
Yes, we've got some.
You're saying that like he sued Mark Latham for calling him an anti-white bigot.
I'll bring it up here. Yeah. Osman Faruqi. Oh, that's not where. That's just a photo of him. He is Marine Faruqi, who is the New South Wales Greens senator's son. He was a Greens staffer at one stage, and then he worked for Junkie, the left-wing pop cultural rag. And what Sil says here is
it's amazing that the
journalist and editor with the ABC, because he was the
turnstile.
editor of their new online portal ABC.
It's amazing
Live.
that the non-stop turnstile between far left political parties and far left media organisations.
Yeah, so I'll go down to his tweet. Where we'll go down here. Yes, he's announced that he's leaving the ABC. If I go down, oh, he's got a lot of tweets. Where's the actual tweet that I'm after? Oh, Dave, you're not a good filler. Like when I'm trying to find this.
I'm enjoying the
chat. Well,
yeah, the
maybe
chat.
read some of them out.
Oh, somebody called them Democrats.
Oh, yes, here it is. It's true. Sad to say goodbye to the ABC, but extremely excited to join the Helm at 7 a.m. podcast with the gun, Ruby Rates Jones. I'm cooking up a few fun stories before I'm done at Auntie. Stay tuned. And if I go to this thread, also means I'm moving to Melbourne. Melbourne folk, please at me with suggestions on where I should live and fun stuff to do.
I hear the Joinery Cafe. Oh no, hang on. I hear, where is it? Should go. Yeah, he should go to the Joinery Cafe at 5 Ormond Road, Elwood. I hear it's quite nice. Yeah.
Yeah, so going back to his lawsuit against Mark Latham, because Mark Latham said on his Rebel media show that Osman Faruqi promoted anti-white racism, and the thing, because Latham settled this case, said he was also promoting anti-white terrorism, which is quite a much further stretch. Mark Latham gets sued all the time because he's a big target. But also Osman Faruqi, I noticed that Mark Latham, during his defence, put forward that when Yasmin Abdel-Magid, as she was talking about the Section 44 constitutional dual citizenship crisis, Osman Faruqi said, yes, the white people are being fucked.
Okay, so he sounds like an anti-white racist to me.
So he left Junkie at the end of 2018 and then moved to ABC Life. What also happened in 2018, when Avi Yemeni lost his first Facebook page, it's because he published Osman Faruqi's mobile number.
Really?
Avi got it off a old press release, I think maybe when he was a Green Staffer or something, because it's not surprising that Osman would say something that would grate on Avi, and so Avi did that, and yeah, lots of people called Osman Faruqi, and of course you can't post people's phone numbers on Facebook, and so that's what his first page got taken down. Yes, but when he joined ABC Life, he did a joint episode of Background Briefing with Alex Mann. You know,
yes.
Who got famous.
So Faruqi was on Background Briefing. What did he do?
Yeah, so the episode was called Doxed, and talked about how was that Osman Faruqi was at dinner with his girlfriend's parents, and he was nervous about trying to impress them, and that's when all the people started ringing him to say like what a horrible person he was. And he said he had to
suck it.
And he said he had to go to counselling. And
he can suck a fat cock in hell.
Yes, but the crux of the episode was that they did an expose on who they thought David Clarkson was.
Yeah, right. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So they believe that it's...
So it's not okay to post Faruqi's phone number, but it's okay for them to try to dox somebody who wants to keep their identity secret.
Who they think was David Clarkson.
Yeah.
It's interesting, how come they don't...
That's what I mean. Like,
how come they don't find out who Slack
us.
Bastard is? Like, why don't do an episode about him?
Yeah,
he's
that's
doxed a lot of people in his time, yet he...
You should ask Lucas.
Well, I do.
Yeah, Lucas knows.
But yes, it was interesting they decided that going after David Clarkson was the most important thing, and they believed that it was this dentist from Gippsland.
Yes, I heard about this.
David McMahon. And the David Clarkson channel went quiet for about 6 months, but then came back, and David Clarkson channel is on. Well, it's pretty much. Well,
He's been going on Overdrive.
Yeah, there's so many.
Yeah, he's been on the roids or something. It's great. Yeah.
And I noticed it just popped up in a few of the comments on other channels as well.
Yeah, good.
But Osman Faruqi and Alex Mann, they won a Kennedy Award for that, which is some journalism, mainstream media wank award, because apparently finding out who David Clarkson was. That was such a groundbreaking piece of journalism.
Yeah, it's amazing. So a whole bunch of left-wing journos giving left-wing journos an award for basically trying to dox right-wing journalists. Yeah.
But going back to, because he mentions here the 7 a.m. podcast, so ABC gets $1 billion.
Talking about going back, he must go back, Osman Faruqi.
Yes,
where's he from?
7 a.m. podcast. This
from?
podcast has 1,500 Twitter followers. So he's going from the ABC to that.
Yeah, we'll catch him soon. Yeah.
But why would you leave, like, if you're a lefty, you leave
Where's he from?
the comfort of the ABC?
Yeah.
I assume Osman Faruqi is from Sydney. That's where his mother is a senator from.
He's not from Sydney.
Oh, his mother is of Pakistani heritage.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, okay. So we must go back to Pakistan.
What else have we got here? Oh, yes. Do we want to talk a bit about Oz politics this week? Just finish off the show.
Yeah, sure. Well, can you tell us what happened with Scott Morrison? Like, he was calling... Yeah.
Oh,
he
you
messed
need
up.
a bit more information than that. That's not.
You're the guy with the information. I heard them
but
talking
like that's
about
not
it on
even
the
a
radio.
question.
Yeah. Scott Morrison got in trouble. He had to apologise.
Oh, yes, because Labor want Angus Taylor, the Energy Minister, to stand aside while the New South Wales Police are investigating who doctored the City of Sydney travel expense report that he gave to the Daily Telegraph, which the City of Sydney claim they never updated it. The metadata proves it.
Yeah, that seems like a total lie. Like, that seems like another, because we were talking about this the other day. Like, basically, like in the Sarah Hanson-Young versus David Lowenhelm case, the judge has basically believed Sarah Hanson-Young's word over David Lowenhelm, and this seems to be a case of the whole media and even the police believing the Sydney Council over Angus Taylor.
So Scott Morrison in Parliament, he said that he quoted a Victorian police detective who claimed that Julia Gillard should stand aside while the AWU investigation was going on, but it wasn't a Victorian police constable. It was actually Ben Fordham from 2GB who said that, which is kind of a different person than a police detective. And so he had to correct the record. But they're also going after, he spoke to the New South Wales Police Commissioner Mick Fuller about the investigation, and this was seen as like not a good look, potential political interference. But it also emerged that because he used to say that he was neighbours with Mick Fuller, and they used to put his bins out, and they already had their phone numbers. And Mick Fuller said no, that actually didn't happen. I didn't put out the bins.
Yeah, okay. So Scott Morrison was actually lying. Huh?
Well, on Twitter regularly, it's trending. They call him the liar from the Shire.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's the thing. I can't get excited one way or another, because Scott Morrison, he's basically a cuck. He's not a real Christian, and he's not he is actually conservative in that he sells out true traditionalists and patriots and nationalists down the river. He's got videos of him like celebrating, is it Diwali, the Indian festival or whatever. He's supposed to be a Pentecostal Christian, and he's like, promoting other religions. He won't do anything to stop immigration. He basically, like, they've reduced the cap like on paper, but like immigration is still going to go full speed ahead. They're openly pushing policies to try to get new immigrants to go to the bush, to force them to go to the bush. Nobody wants to go to the bush.
You can't force them to go to the bush.
But like,
it's unconstitutional.
They're basically trying to make it so that there's nowhere for us to white flight anymore. So basically, like, stuff him. Like, at least we've got like a non-communist in charge of Australia, but we've still got a globalist in charge of Australia.
He's still, like I mentioned before, he's still doing nothing about the Murray-Darling Basin Authority, just letting that authority flush all the water out. And of course, he didn't know that in his own Department of Prime Minister and Cabinet, that there was gender-neutral toilets. Like, it's your own department. Like, don't you? Yeah,
they're flushing that out. It's amazing that like we've had plans as well. Like, all the rivers. You've been to Queensland and you've seen the size of the rivers? They make the Yarra River at its mouth look like a stream. And there is so much water in these rivers that just gets flushed out to the ocean. There have been plans to turn these rivers inland for decades, and the Greenies and the Labor Party like always push back against it.
It's
so stupid. We could have green fields going so far inland in Australia, but they just won't let it happen.
Liberals and Nationals, they're too scared that the ABC might say something mean about them. That's basically what it is. That we'll cop some backlash. So there's a word for that as being a cuck.
Coward. Cuck, yes.
Yes.
Yes, yeah, there's a reason why we have that word,
We've got Binary Agenda ask a question. Why does the media keep talking about milk prices and now they want a minimum price per litre? Why stop at milk? Why not have minimum price on bread or paper adult diapers? Well, we want adult diapers to be affordable because a lot of people who buy them are pensioners.
Yes, yeah, and, you know, exactly. They don't have much money, or many friends.
Well, if they
or
set a
much to
minimum
do,
price on
so-
milk now, you heard the news earlier this week that Lion Milk has been bought by a Chinese company.
Yeah, Bellamy's you're talking about, yeah?
Yeah, so Big M, Dare, Iced Coffee, Pura,
Oh,
all
this is
that
another
milk
one, yeah,
is
yeah.
going to be. It was owned by the Japanese before, but at least the Japanese, like, they're out.
So basically, all they've done is change the direction of the slant.
But Japan's our greatest ally now in Asia.
What do you say?
We haven't had a problem with the Japs in nearly 75 years.
Yeah, and even then, there's a theory that basically that, look, you've got a communist Soviet Union on one side, and you've got two major powers either side. Let's start a war to get rid of those two major powers. Communism can go.
Did you hear this week that Kevin Rudd's still promoting a big Australia? He said.
Okay, that's what somebody was mentioning that in the chat. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
he wants Australia to have a population of 50 million. That this would strengthen Australia. And I know
Yeah, we'll have to write something about that.
Yes,
on
because Andrew
XYZ.
Bolt, he wrote a column on that, and he
Yes,
said,
yes.
how are you going to basically double the nation's population with 25 million Chinese?
Yeah, but I like Andrew Bolt, like the XYZ basically got its big break thanks to Andrew Bolt. So Andrew Bolt reads the XYZ, so it's nice to see him occasionally just echoing a few of our talking points. Yeah, like we've made the point, like we had the that stupid slogan after the war, populate or perish. And the idea of that was that if we don't get a bigger population, we're not going to be able to defend ourselves against these mammoth Asian countries. So what do? We filled our country with Asians, and we're going to become an Asian country anyway. So we're populating and we're perishing.
Yes, well, it's going to be a continuing conundrum for our political class because they know now, oh shit, our relationship, well, we've got to treat China differently, but they've got no idea how to do it. I spoke with Dave Lee last night on Wilms Front about this. I would definitely recommend our viewers go and watch it because Dave gets quite fired up.
Yeah, beauty. Okay, so we're wrapping it up, Tim?
Yes, we will.
Yeah.
It's been a good stream. There is still time to send us through a super chat or ask a question through Entropy. I'll just put the link in the chat again. Thank you to all of those who have participated tonight. Of course, at the end is the reminders. I'll be back here tomorrow night for Wilms Front, 7 p.m. Melbourne time on Tim Wilms' YouTube channel. My guest will be Dom Raymond Carnaby. He's a reformed youth offender, and so we're going to be talking about crime, punishment, and justice, which will be a fascinating chat.
Anxious Aussie has just pointed out 28% of Australians have one parent born overseas. 25% of Australians both parents born overseas. We're basically a minority already. Yeah.
Well, what's happening in that's what Nick Fuentes in America First. They're talking about the.
It's ironic, isn't it, Fuentes?
But he basically talks about it in electoral math that.
I hear he goes, white nationalism, yippa, yippa, yippa.
That with this mass legal migration continuing, it's just going to constantly turn more states blue. California's blue, Virginia's blue. Yeah. Texas might be blue, and when Texas falls, that's it for the United States.
Yeah, then it's Civil War too. People want to come to the XYZ. I'm locked out of Facebook again, so we'll find a way to get stuff posted on the XYZ Facebook page. But just come straight to the XYZ. Come to visit us on Gab. We also have a Telegram channel. You can listen to Matty and I bang on Monday nights. At
There's
Matty
also
Live,
a weekly highlights segment that's uploaded somewhere else.
Yeah, some guy just likes to just repeat our stuff just verbatim. It's great. We appreciate the advertising.
XYZ's had a lot of publicity this week.
That's tremendous. And also, there's I'm doing a podcast with Mark Moncrief from Melbourne Traditionalists. That's just a 30-minute one. It's always a good one. It's one of my favourite ones of the week. Actually, we just sort of focus on one or two topics and we sort of analyze it for a little while and then we just go, okay, we're done.
And my colleague Steel Archer, his Detonation program is live most weekday mornings on the dedicated Detonation YouTube channel, and there's also a show website, steelarcher.com, on the Unshackled main channel. That's where we have, there's highlights of Wilms Front episodes. There is also episodes of The Report from Tiger Mountain with Richard Wollstonecroft, who we had on last week, and he's the director of the Melbourne Underground Film Festival. And I've also my weekly show with Due de Boer of Right Minds NZ, Trans-Tasman Talk at 7 p.m. Live Melbourne time every week on Tuesday evenings. Of course, still publishing regular content on the Unshackled.net, and there's our free ebook where you can sign up to our newsletter at the Unshackled.net. Of course, my Wilms Front program is not just on YouTube form, but it's also on podcast. If you go to timwilms.com, you can subscribe to Wilms Front on your favorite podcasting platform. And also, there's all the links to me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Gab and Minds. The Unshackled is also there. We have an ever-present presence. I said presence 2 times on all social media because, hey, we don't know when they're going to change the terms and conditions or community guidelines. So we make sure that we're everywhere. And of course, the Uncuckables has a central website at theuncuckables.com. It's in podcast form as well. That's got all the links there. And you can sign up to get Uncuckables updates through the email list there. And of course, it has links to all our co-producers and affiliates. Is there anything that I've left off? Oh, yes.
James Fox Higgins, The Rational Rise.
Yes. Pickering Post. That's becoming more active now.
Yeah, it's magnificent. Much appreciated to Harry from the Pickering Post. We've basically got David Hilton, Adam Piggott, and myself being cross-posted there. And it's huge because, we average about 10,000 views a piece. So it's very, very much appreciated. Doing some great work. So go check out the Pickering Post as well.
Yeah, and of course, James Fox Higgins, who does the music and graphics for not just my show, but also Wilms Front. He has his Rational Rise YouTube channel. He also operates Rational Rise TV, which is the free speech self-hosted video platform, which doesn't just have his content, has this show, has XYZ content, has Unshackled Productions in case YouTube ever pulls the plug. Then there is a place where you can still go and view all our stuff. And there's also ways to support our work through rationalrise.tv. The Uncuckables also has a donation section. Of course, XYZ has their various donation forms, as does the Unshackled.
We actually still have a Patreon up. We've got to get a few others up.
Yeah, Matty's on Subscribestar. XYZ probably needs to get a Subscribestar.
True, I think they take... Subscribestar haven't cucked yet, have they?
No, they got deplatformed by PayPal on their initial credit card processor.
Yeah, right, okay.
So
they have street cred then.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, and they accept cryptocurrency as well.
Ooh, okay.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so, they've got... I don't know who's the most extreme person on their platform.
I was going to say, isn't cryptocurrency the secret gold of the incel rebellion?
Did you see my interview with probably the world's best Bitcoin expert, Stephen Ligara?
I don't watch any live streams.
Okay, well, it's on replay on the Unshackled channel.
Okay, beautiful.
You should watch it. Yes, he's based in Sydney. I've met him a few times. He's, bloody good expert.
Uh-huh.
I just thought I'd get in heaps of cross promotions at the end because that's what you should do.
Yeah. As said, thank you very much, Pickering Post. Great.
All right, good night, everyone.
Thank you, everybody. Much appreciated.